What if the history we all think we know is missing the most important chapter? What if the biggest change in all of human existence had nothing to do with wars or amazing inventions or any of the stuff you read about in textbooks? So, just for a moment, forget about all the big stuff: empires, revolutions, the internet. Let's just imagine that none of that was the real game changer, that the actual turning point for humanity was, well, it was something much, much simpler and way more powerful.
Yeah, just one simple sentence. A thought so powerful it could literally remake our world from the inside out. But to really truly understand just how big of a deal this was, we first have to take a look back at the world we left behind.
Right. So to appreciate the after, we have to remember the before. What was it actually like before the awareness, before everything went quiet? I mean, it was just loud, a constant frantic buzz of ambition and distraction and just noise. The whole world was moving so fast. Everyone was running so hard that nobody even stopped to feel the ground shaking underneath their own feet. Really, this was the heart of it. We were all chasing some idea of success. We lied, we rushed, we fought to get ahead, and somewhere along the way, we kind of forgot how to just live. It felt like everyone was just desperate for more time, more power, more control. And then, one day, it all just stopped. This wasn't some alien invasion. It wasn't a scientific discovery. It was an arrival, like a thought that appeared in every single mind on the planet all at the same time, instantly. Just try to picture it. You wake up one morning, and the same message is everywhere. On your phone screen, projected onto the sides of buildings, even kind of shimmering in the clouds. You couldn't escape it. Nobody could. And this was the rule. That's it. It wasn't a threat. It wasn't a command from some higher power. It was just a simple, undeniable fact. Every action you take will be felt by someone else.
And this is what was so brilliant about it. See, there were no punishments, no police to enforce it, no prisons. The rule wasn't about controlling people from the outside. It was about something happening on the inside. It was just awareness, a sudden, shared knowledge of consequence. It was almost like humanity had collectively grown a new sense. So that's the big question, right? What happens to billions of people when they can suddenly physically feel the ripples of everything they do? Well, the answer is everything. Everything changes. People started calling it the Great Slowing. You'd see it everywhere. People would hesitate for a second before they spoke. They'd pause before they acted. And it wasn't because they were afraid of getting in trouble. It was because they had this new, deep sense of responsibility. They finally truly understood the weight of their own choices. Think about it like this. In the old world, a lie was just words. But now, you could literally feel the sting of that betrayal in your own stomach. Yelling at someone wasn't just letting off steam anymore. You could feel the hurt you caused echoing right back at you. But kindness? Wow. Kindness became this incredible investment. The warmth and gratitude you created would come rushing back, even stronger than how you sent it out. Now, of course, not everyone was on board. Some people hated it. They saw this new empathy as a prison. They called it weak, a kind of emotional handcuffs that killed ambition, that killed freedom. Honestly, they missed the chaos. They missed being able to do things without feeling the consequences. But they were kind of missing the point. The rule never forced anyone to do anything. All it did was pull back a curtain on a truth that was already there, that we're all connected, that every single choice we make, no matter how tiny, paints another stroke on the big canvas that we all share. And the world that came from that? Wow. The crazy noise of the city it was replaced by this hum of real connection. People actually started listening to each other, really listening. And all that old school power, the kinds built on stepping on other people, it just melted away. Humanity kind of found itself again. Look, it wasn't perfect, not by a long shot, but for the very first time, it was conscious. So all of that brings this whole thought experiment out of this imaginary story and brings it right here, to you. Because this central idea, it's a really powerful one to think about. So I want you to really ask yourself, if you, personally, could introduce one single rule that everyone in the world would instantly understand and live by,
what would your rule be?
I really hope this story made you think a little. If it sparked an idea, or maybe you've already got your own rule forming in your mind, I'd genuinely love for you to share it down in the comments.
And hey, if you enjoyed this little trip into another possible world, do me a favor and hit that like button, and of course, subscribe for more stories like this, more thought experiments that hopefully challenge how we see everything.
This has been Mindscapes by Faizu. We believe that sometimes imagination is the best way to understand reality. Thanks for thinking with me.